Do you want to be a world-class innovator, a world-class business person? This is the place to be every Monday at 9 p.m. I welcome you to Flourishing Hub. Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name. Now, Flourishing Hub, to you who is joining us for the first time, is a program centered around improving the mindset of young people so that we can thrive through this world. And in improving the mindset, we give you the right mindset that you need. Now, this program is brought to you by Young and Flourishing Foundation. Young and Flourishing Foundation is built on 4 pillars, which pillars are the reason we are here every Monday. Now, the first pillar is money. We all need money. We all work so we can have money. But if you lack the discipline of money, then you and your money shall soon part. That is why Young and Flourishing now brings you a pillar where they teach you how to work for this money. After getting this money, they teach you or they train you how to save it. And after saving it, they will eventually guide you on how you can invest this money. Now, the second pillar is daring. Our promo says that those businesses will at one time be world-class businesses. Now, you too can be a world-class innovator. Now, never despise humble beginnings. Start with what you have, however small it is. What you have, as long as you do it with all your heart, with all of your mind, and you put into consideration what we discuss here every Monday, trust me, one time your business will be a world-class business. And the third pillar is strategy. We all need to be strategic. Yeah, we know the world is changing. There are very many trends. Now, we need to take these trends as we plan our steps, as we plan our moves, as we plan our businesses. So, like we always say, if you do not have a plan, then you will help others fulfill their plans by being part of their plans. Yet, you too can be your plan now. This is another pillar, very important pillar that you as a young person need. The last pillar is, of course, mentorship. We all want to do things, but at least in whatever we want to do, there is someone who has tried what we want to try. Some have been successful, some have a story to tell us, especially in guiding us on how we can go about certain things. That is why you need someone to speak into your life. There is a business opportunity you want to take up, you need someone who has tried that business so they can guide you. They will give you a lot of information concerning that business so that perhaps you don't go through what they went through, or so that what challenged them can be your point of strength. Isn't that very good for you as a young person? That is why Church of Uganda Family TV, together with Young and Flourishing Foundation, have this program, Flourishing Hub. And today we have an amazing topic. Yes, we know that the business world rotates around customers and buyers. Now, you are a buyer from the manufacturer. The manufacturer also is a buyer from the raw material seller. So you realize that the chain goes on and on and on. But if you cannot retain your customers, then there is a very big problem. Why are we here this evening? We are here to discuss customer retention, which is a very important key to business growth. And with us is the director of Power Logistics and Cleaners. He is none other than the one, Mr. Mark Rutaremwa. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you this evening. I know the coldness out there, you'll be out with your family, but thank you for sparing this time to be with us this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful to be here.
Sure. Kindly greet our viewers, and then we proceed with today's topic because it is a unique one that no one should miss.
It is. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Good evening, our viewers. Like he said, I'm Mark Rutaremwa from Power Logistics and Cleaners, where we make your dreams where you stay. And we majorly do cleaning and fumigation, both commercial and private homes. We clean roofs, high-rise buildings, carpets, seats, name it. And we do fumigation of both also commercial and private. And I'm glad to be here.
Sure. We're also glad to be here. And the fact that you're in a business that needs to retain more, that needs to retain customers, I believe we are talking with the right person. Therefore, don't go anywhere, because this discussion is really very, very important, especially if you are in the business world. Even if you're not in the business world, even if you're working for someone, it is very important that you retain this customer that you have. But to start with, how can you break down the word customer retention to someone who is watching us there?
Thank you. Like you started it so well. My business needs retention so much. The cleaning business, you must retain a client. It's very key to our business, like it is to so many businesses, I guess. But I will talk to my business about my business that I know. I know that retaining a business is very, very important. And this is where you keep the clients you already have. And it is very, very key. These are the clients that have been with you for some time, that we must do everything possible to stay with, to make them comfortable so that they stay with you. That is the retention of customers, in brief.
So, in the first place, before you get this customer, I think we start from the process where this customer comes to you the first time. When they come, how do you attract them to come to you? And then when they come, how do you keep them?
Yeah, very, very important question. Thank you. And the customers, it's very important to give the first best impression to the customer. You must treat every customer as important. No customer is more important than the other. And so that is the beginning of retaining that customer. And so a customer must feel that they are very, very important. So the importance of retaining these customers is that they will save you money. It's said that it is much cheaper to retain the one you have than to get a new one. It will cost you, actually, they say, up to 25 times more to get a new customer than to retain the one you have. The one you have is easier. You know their likes, their don'ts. And so it's easy to retain this customer than the new one that you do not know. And it is also said that you make more from the ones you retain than the ones you're just bringing in. Up to 60% profit you get from the customers you already have. So that's why it's very, very key that you retain customers. It's important to get new ones, but it's more important to retain the ones you have. And then also, when you go out there, it's hard to sell for more than between 5 and 25% of new customers. Yet it is easier for the old customers to sell up to 70% of those customers, because you know what they want. You build trust. It's easy to market with these kinds of customers. And then also, when you retain a client, when you retain these customers, it brings royalty. And when it brings royalty, then along the way brings referrals. And referrals, we know they are key. When you refer to a person, by a person you trust, a friend tells you that Power Cleaners does a good job in fumigation, you not doubt. If you're looking for a fumigator, you call Power Logistics and Cleaners. If you're looking to clean your carpet, he tells you they are the ones that always clean my carpets. They clean hotels, they clean. So you can trust his word, rather than the person that you have gotten through advert, you have never seen their work, no one has referred them to you. It's a hard one that way. But referrals are good and a reliable way of getting one of the advantages of having the royal customers, because they know your business so well and they can sell you that way. And also it helps in the business growth. Your company grows faster if you retain customers. It is said that you will actually get up to 25% more profit retaining from the clients you have kept, or the customers, than those the new ones you're getting. And then also it's very, very important, because they help you to know what is working and what is not working, because now they know your business so well, so they help you to improve your business. In fumigation, they'll tell you, the other chemical did not smell good, did not treat us good, you need to change it. In cleaning, maybe you can do this, you can do the other, and this is key to your business growth. So it will help even in your innovation. You can innovate in that, to give you time to innovate, rather than the new customer. If you're just acquiring new customers all the time, you have no time to innovate. You're already thinking about getting the new customer to the old product, which you might not find time to change. And then it also helps when you get clients that are open to experience, to experiment. When they're open to experimenting, that way it helps you to better, you bring up new products, you bring up new services on the market, and they are ready to try them out. And when they work well, you take them to other customers, which is key to the business and gives you an edge to your competitors, which makes this very, 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 very key. It also helps you to outlast competition. In times, even when things are hard, these customers are there. If you treat them right, they are there. So they are the best, where you start and you kick forward as you acquire other new clients. So these customers should be treated so well, with so much respect, and make sure you don't lose any. If you lose any client, then that was supposed to happen, but it shouldn't happen. Then it also increases the morale of the staff. When you retain these customers, it increases the morale of the staff. If a staff every day is to think about a new client, to recruit a new client, it's stressful. It's stressful. So they need to think about the customer that you're serving, and he's happy, and they are now thinking of how to serve him better. True, thinking about bringing in the new ones, but this works as an inspiration to go forward and get new clients. And I think, among others, these are some of the advantages of retaining the customer.
Among what you've shared, you've been over-relying on not looking out for new customers before you can find ways of retaining the ones you have. How dangerous is it for a business, especially when it comes to growth, if all the time you open your shop, all the time you open up your workspace, there are new people who come in, and whoever steps out never comes back?
It's very, very dangerous. Statistics show that you can actually sell up to as low as 5% of those who walk in. Others will just come, browse around, and go. In our cleaning business, you just say, oh, okay, you do fumigation. Okay, check around and see. It's very hard to sell to a new person. So that's why, much as we market to get new customers, the old customers, we must make them satisfied, we must listen to them, and then it helps, as I've seen, it grows our business, it grows our productivity, it helps our employee retention, because it's less burden on them, less stress on them. So it helps, and customer and employee retention is key. You're not all the time training new staff, which affects your business. It's this stuff that is out there. If all the time they go out there, they are not yet really there. They are new stuff. You lose business. They are not real familiar with the business.
Yeah, and I also look at a point where you go out, you advertise your business, but no one can recommend others. For example, if it is on TV and people are watching this advert on TV, even someone who has used your product, who has tried you out, may not recommend the ones watching. No.
That's why it's very, very important to respect and listen to your clients.
Sure. Now, we want to back this discussion with the journey of Power Logistics and Cleaners.
Yeah.
When did you start this business?
We've been in business for 7 years.
7 years. Wow, that's quite.
Yeah, for 7 years. And so we have commercial and private or domestic clients.
Okay.
We have those we have contracts with, and then we have those that are on call. And we have those that we have retained for all those years.
The 7 years?
Yes, for the 7 years.
In the first place, how did you begin? And then you'll also share with us, because you've said that those customers you've maintained, you've retained for the 7 years. So you'll tell us in this journey how you got those customers and how you've been able to retain them for the 7 years.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think one of the things that have helped us is integrity. Integrity in terms of time, integrity in terms of what you promise, to deliver on what you promise. There are some things that are out of our control. For example, you are setting off out of town, then your car breaks down. It might be out of your control, you might be a little late. But to respect the client, call the client and tell them what is going on, not what usually happens, like with some of the people. Agree to reach at 8, does not call you, does not pick your calls, and comes at 1. He's like, but I'm here, so we can clean. So
better late than never.
Better late than never. I'm here. So one of the things that have helped us, actually, the first clients we got them out of integrity, knowing that we are people of our word. If we promise that we are not perfect, but we are working to be the best in this industry, and so if we promise that if it did go well, we will come back and do it, we must come back and do it. We stand by our word.
At a free cost, or you charge an extra cost?
Free cost. If you are paid, we'll come back, even if it doesn't happen, but even if we come more than once, we'll come and not charge you any extra cost. If the period we have given you, for example, if we say, if you fumigate and things don't go well in 2 months, we'll come back and do it for free. We will come and do it. Because we try also to see the other way we have tried to retain our customers is to make sure that we listen to the client and see things through their eyes. Because sometimes what you think you're doing right. I'll give you an example. One time we were cleaning someone's house, which things were scattered here and there. And at the beginning, and people wanted to be clever and organize the things. The client was so furious. How do you organize my things? You should clean them the way they are and leave them the way they are. And so then we learned that, we shouldn't assume that everyone wants things organized the way you see them. Ask them, can I, after dusting your perfumes and whatever bottles, can I organize them, or can I? Then you have permission, so that the client, you don't leave and the client is looking for where you put the things you cleaned. Then also, well, like I said, I had mentioned before, we prioritize also customer experience. When you meet the client for the first time, you make sure they feel at home, they feel respected, they feel understood. Then they are confident that you're going to do the service. And then when it reaches doing the service, don't disappoint. Deliver. we deliver on what we have promised. Then we have also engaged in a few customer loyalty programs. In our case, for example, when we are doing, say, fumigations, at times we say, if you say, okay, we need to control roaches, bed bugs, mosquitoes, and we say, okay, we'll come and control them. On top of that, since you have gardens, we will bring you tubes of snake repellents. You can have them. You use some. Or we just ask you if you have rodents, we control those on the same cost. We control those rodents. So, and that one has also helped us to retain some of our customers. Then also we have done our best to keep in touch with our clients. It's very easy. I noticed, even I myself, you've met someone who has done something for you before. You've taken a while without getting the same problem. Then the same problem pops up, and you're like, who was this again? Who did this? You can't even remember the person who did, or even you lost the contact. So we give periodic messages to our clients to remind them they are due for cleaning, they are due for fumigation. They might not need the service, but we keep that channel open. We keep our communications going. Then we always also appreciate and respect our clients. We do not take any client for granted or disrespect them. We respect all of them. They feel respected, and that way they are comfortable to stay with us. Their opinion is key. Sometimes you're like, I'm in the industry. I'm the one in the industry tells you, no, this tile should have been cleaned like this. If you start engaging, no, I know better. This tile cannot know. You respect their opinion, and a few times they have come up with brilliant ideas which have benefited us as a company and made us better. And then this has made the client feel involved in the whole process, which has helped us grow our business and retain our clients. Then also, we have tried to build employee loyalty. It is key to stay with our staff, and I'm proud to say that we have staff that we have been with. We have a number of staff that we have been with since the start of the company up to now.
7 years ago.
Yes, 7 years ago. And we still have them. We take them as priority. And I, for one, I was employee before I joined private sector. And I know what it means to be paid on time. So to be paid on time, to be respected. I treat them because they are the business. I am not there out in the field. They perform badly. Power Logistics and Cleaners has performed badly. Yeah. And I know that and appreciate that. And so I must treat them well. Even sometimes in our industry, sometimes it doesn't pay that much, but at least they feel at home. And they know that we always encourage them to grow. If they get something better, let them go out. We are not selfish. Let them go out and get something better. If it fails, they come back. Some have grown with us. There are some that stepped out and came back, and stayed. So
they looked for greener pastures and they realized these pastures were more greener than the others.
You might go to a place where there's 20,000 more, and you realize this 20,000 more is really, really painful. So we respect our staff. We treat them well. We make sure they have all the tools they need, the skills they need. We make sure the staff have the skills they need. When they go out, they don't start calling, say, how do I mix the chemicals? What chemical was cleaning the floor again? There's this type of tile, there's this terrace, what can I do? So we make sure that they know, and to our advantage, when when they have been retained for a while, they have experience. They know most of these. A number of my staff are so good at these things, and can repeat a job without even thinking twice. If I say a client seems to say that there's still a mosquito hanging around, they're like, when are we going to clean that up? And so that's what we do also. Then we also try to be empathetic with our clients. But we show empathy by listening to them. We try, like I mentioned before, listen to get their point of view. Sometimes when you don't go in someone's shoes, you don't get exactly what they are saying. You say, this tile is clean, he tells you it's dirty. Till you come, then he tells you exactly what he means, it's dirty. It's dirty because I've realized, come to learn in this, that a drop of water, to one person that's dirt, and to another person that's very clean, that shows you have used water. Yeah, that shows you have used water. And now that's dirty. It should be dry, very dry. And when it's very dry, did you really use water? Why is it so dry? So, do you just wipe? Why is it dry? So you have to make sure you understand the client. You be patient with them because they are different and with different demands. You be patient with them. Some are pragmatic. So we listen to them. We be friendly. We become a team, we become a family, so that when a client has a complaint, does not feel like he's bothering you to tell you, because it's very, very important. When every time a client tells you, I think you skipped something, you're like, no, I did already, that thing does not go off, no.
And then at the afterwards, people in the background will say, on a client, I know lugezi.
Yeah, you know. And again, it becomes also difficult for him to show you something else.
Yeah.
And when you have an advantage of a client who shows you what he thinks did not go right, it's an opportunity for you to do it to their liking, custom made, so that client will be really, really satisfied. So we make it easy for them. He tells you, even when there's a broken tile, he's like, no, I think when you scrub the thing, it would have gone off. You're like, okay, let me come, we try. You try, it doesn't go off. You're like, oh yeah, I realize why it can't go off. Yeah, it's a broken tile. Oh, okay. Listen, he's satisfied rather than engaging in an argument or telling him, but why can't you see that's a broken tile or something? So we try not to do that. Then we make sure that our prices are fair and competitive in the market. We don't overcharge our clients. Sometimes when we do follow-ups, if we do follow-up, we have not made any money, but that's okay. We'd rather not to make money, even if twice, but retain a customer. Retain a customer, which is very, very key to our business. And then we really love, like I mentioned before, to correct our mistakes and apologize for the mistakes we have made. Because when a client, if you're in the premises of a client, commercial, private, and anything did not go according to expectation of the client, it's not enough that you're just going to come back and do it right. In the doing it right, you're wasting his time.
Okay.
He has to create more time now for you to come and repeat the job.
Sure.
Most probably wasting his time, because he will come again to see whether it was done right. And then it's also a cost on our side. So we do our best to do it right the first time, except for the things that are out of our control. For example, you bought chemical, and this time they've given you fake one. So you do not go to engage with the client and say, no, that chemical works all the time. No. If it didn't work, it didn't work. Then we go and repeat and repeat.
And the clients have a right to complain when things don't go on.
Yes.
So we are taking a short commercial break, but when we return, we are going to now draw more attention onto communication.
Yes.
as one of the tools of customer retention. This is one of the very important keys that you need. As long as you can retain your customers, then you can plan on them. You can know who will come back and when they'll come back. So we are with the director of Power Logistics and Cleaners, the one Mark Rutaremwa. And before the break, you had shared with us some of the things that makes Power Logistics unique of the other companies which do the same service that you offer. And among all these, there is something very important, which is communication. You talked about communication in very many aspects, that there is that rapport you have with your client, there is that constant communication, even when you're not sure whether the client will come back and you take your service again, but you still communicate to them. You send them messages to remind them when they're supposed to do the fumigation and what. How important, how powerful is this communication when it comes to customer retention?
Communication is very, very key. It keeps you on the mind of the customer. And communication, is wide. But one of the key things in communication is listening, actually. Listening for the customer to know he's listened to, he's understood, then to make sure that the customer has understood you. So that because when there is miscommunication, there are problems. It brings up arguments and all. So communication is key in business, and constant communication keeps you on the minds of people, even when they are not going to use your business now for referral purposes. It can refer you. It keeps on them reminded of what actually you do. Some of the people you're communicating to have actually not used your business. Your service. You've marketed to them. They have not used the service, but you keep them reminded that Power Logistics and Cleaners, we clean carpets, we clean sofas, because sometimes someone thinks they clean. I think maybe they clean just the floor, tile floor. No, you're like, no, clean carpets, we clean wall claddings, we clean high-rise buildings, we clean roofs, we clean tiles, so that it remains on the mind of a client in case he meets someone who wants the service to be easy to refer. And then, again, of course, good communication is one of the key things that helps you to retain customers. Sometimes the key thing actually might not be the quality of the service, the quality of the cleaning you're going to provide, or the quality of the fumigation you're going to bring, but how you're receptive to communication, to correction by the client. How the client is feeling respected and listened to, he's viewed and considered. That alone will make the client. You might not have provided the best service that the client has ever gotten, the customer has ever gotten, but you're the best listener he has ever met. And listening is very, very key, because listening, even you as a company, helps you to improve. You take back and listen. Learning never ends. For us as Power Logistics and Cleaners, we are always ready to learn. We learn new things, and we have a great team, and we have great people in our lives, a good support system. So it's very good to listen to some of these clients. Sometimes clients have come up with a chemical you have never heard of even. It tells you, by the way, you're clean, but I think if you used such and such a chemical, it would do better. I met it when I went abroad or whatever. If you can look for it, and then you get it, and it does for you wonders. But if you do not listen, I've been in the industry for 7 years. Who are you telling? No, it's detrimental to your business. So I think communication is very, very key. And I think one of the most important component of communication is listening.
So we are looking at customer retention in a campaign, in a bid to retain these customers. Are there any challenges that someone doing business should expect now? For you who has been in business for 7 years, I look at someone who is building their business. It is a few months old, and they are struggling to retain their customers. Are there any challenges that someone should expect in this move of customer retention?
True. There are a number of challenges, and challenges are good because it's when we overcome challenges that we feel satisfied. Success comes after challenges.
True.
If there are no challenges, there is no success. So one of the challenges, of course, would be if you have contracts with especially institutions that advertise for bidding. Sometimes you do not retain the bid because you did well.
Yeah.
You retain the bid because there was the lowest bidder. Someone takes it because it was the lowest bidder. And
Wow.
sometimes the quality of service is at the periphery. I will not consider, and since there are some things you cannot put in the bid, like the quality of toilet paper, the quality of soap, the quality of wipes, the quality of what you use, you can't detail. Some of those things are hard to detail because you just say we want provision of toilet paper, we want provision of soap, but you cannot mention the quality. So, but for us, of course, you must stay providing the best quality. Sometimes those people will refer you to other customers, and I've seen sometimes when you bid, you have priced the same amount, and they say no, the other one has a better service, so now the better service takes it. That's one of the challenges. And another challenge is, of course, like every business, the competition is stiff. The competition is stiff. Before you go in a business, you will not know how big the competition is. But the competition is stiff. There are many people that can do what you do. You have to do it different. You have to respect the business you do. You have to respect the job you do. You do not take anything for granted. Do not take any client for granted. And some of the challenges that happen to new people coming in business is keeping the rhythm. You must keep the rhythm. For us at Power Logistics and Cleaners, especially with those that we are contracted with, that we clean every day, we make sure that we do not pass a week without visiting at least twice premises, because that helps to. But sometimes it's, if a new person, you get complacent, take a month, so where it's possible, you need to check on your clients. Among many challenges, of course, there are financing challenges. People, how to balance books becomes a problem. You don't know how to do your taxes. But we have good people who we know. It's important when you're starting a business to consult to other people that are in the same industry or have done business. They refer you to other people that can do these things for you.
Okay. So you told us some of the things that you do at Power Logistics to retain customers. Now I look at someone who is known at doing that, who is not providing the service that you're providing. Maybe they have a retail shop,
Yeah.
or they operate, like they just have a business where there's something they're supposed to give out to customers, but they are struggling on how to retain these customers. What are some of the ways they can improve their customer retention?
I think each customer needs someone who makes their life easy.
Easy, like you put it in quotes?
Yes.
Now we broaden it.
Yes. That makes their life easy. For example, I would take way back, like in the market. Some, when you walk in the market and you get out of the car, you walk around looking for things. You get this here and there and here and there. But then, another one will run to you, to the car, tell me what you need, I'll get everything. Makes your life easy if you, so you, I'll be using this one. And he has to have integrity. Usually, getting a customer might be hard, but when you lose the customer, to get that customer back is very hard. So you should make sure that the customers you have, you treat them right, you do not cheat them. Like I said before, these are the ones that give you the mileage. They give you more, you get more profit from them. If they are tipping businesses, you get more tips from these people rather than all the time looking for new clients. So I think it's key for every business to take the client seriously and care about them, be in their shoes. I will use the word, for lack of a better word, cripple them. Because you realize that the work, for example, at your home, if you don't have help at home, you're doing most of the work.
Yeah.
When the help comes and has taken out some of the work, if this help goes, you find it difficult to do some of the work that you were doing before.
Okay.
So it is with all of us customers. What you have dumped, if you are running out of your car and look, and now there is someone, now this one will be the yardstick. You no longer want to walk there. No longer want to walk there. So you need someone to do the running around for you.
Okay. So there is this common vice. I'm calling it a vice because to some people it is unpleasant. For example, you walk into a shop, someone is talking on phone. Sometimes this person is talking to a customer who is maybe ordering on phone.
Yeah.
And then this one who has stepped in physically thinks they've not been given time. So they will walk out grumbling. How can someone go about that?
Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's true you have not given them time. It doesn't mean when you're talking to someone on phone you cannot attend to the one that is physical. And sometimes that attending to the person is eye contact, to know that you have seen him, he has come, and to know that you're concerned that he's waiting. Tell him, you can signal him, hang on a minute, just a minute, I finish. Most clients will give you that. But most of the time, we look away. So basically, he feels not cared for. He feels the one on phone is more important. He even sometimes might not know that you're even talking to a client on phone. It is the same like when you're on the road or something, when you're driving. You realize that every time you force yourself in the road, very few give you.
Yeah.
But when you ask, very many will give you.
Exactly.
So it's very important for people to understand that even when you're busy, you have seen them, you respect them, and you're concerned about their waiting.
So even as we stretch to the end of this discussion, I look at someone who intends to start up a business, but they have now, this is a personality problem. Someone has this temperament where even when they speak, people may misunderstand them.
Sure.
That is the way you talk, but someone thinks you're either arrogant or rude, yet they want to retain these customers. And customers go out saying, that person is rude. Yet in actual sense, this is your personality, this is your temperament. Sometimes you have nothing to do about it. So how can someone work on that?
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you. But I want to believe that most of the things we can change. That's why it's important. If you're listening to the customer, if they tell you that the problem will be if you become defensive, you're like, what does this one want me to do? That's no. When you work on yourself, you can improve yourself. You can always be better. You're bad at something, like you say, your temperament, you can make it better. You can even smile. I always tell my staff, do not mix problems at home and work. At home, if you have issues, when you reach at work, the smile must come out. These people have nothing to do with what was at your home. So you do not carry that burden here. You leave it at your home. So even when you have that temperament, even if you have something lacking, I'm sure when you work on it, you get better at it. And the longer you work on it, it might take you longer than another person. But it's possible to change. We have learned many things along the way that we were not. And we have seen some of the things, we actually do them well.
So when we want to start up businesses, we're always expectant, because you do market survey and you realize, this place will work out for me. That there are potential customers for my service or my product. So in all this, I want you to advise someone who is watching us right now. They're intending to start a business, they've saved their money, and they want to invest in somewhere. Just to re-echo the importance of customer retention and how customer retention is going to help them grow their business faster than they expect.
Thank you. Yeah, it is very, very important when you're starting business to be patient. It's very, 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 very important to be patient, and which is lacking in our generation because of the WhatsApp. Today I was talking to someone about the dating of these days. If you like me, swipe right. If you don't, swipe, Yeah, that was different back in the day when you had face-to-face. It was harder. So the people of these days, we want things quick. You come in business and you want, in the first 2 months, you have made your rent, you have made your what, and some businesses make it after 5 years, even more. So you have to come in business with a calm heart and be patient. And for every client you get, treat them as precious. As precious. That might be your client for that year. So that customer must stay. You must do everything possible for this client to stay and build on that customer. And for every customer you get, celebrate that. Stop when you start running other people's races, you start looking at other people's businesses. Oh, wow, no, mine, no, mine, no, mine, no. No, you're running different races. Run yours well. Be patient. Make sure that every client you get should remind you of how hard you worked to get that client and not take them for granted. And then your business will grow if you're patient. And maybe another thing I need to mention is that business needs to be in some line you at least have an interest, because that helps you in the patience. Because if you start a business in where you're not interested, absolutely, you're easily discouraged. And then you yourself, you even talk about it with your friends, then they tell about, I don't know, that one is not working. But where you have passion, when they come and say, even when you're not doing so well, when you realize this guy is discouraged, you tell them, it's okay, it's doing well. Because you don't want to be discouraged. And that's how you press on in the process. And sometimes that process is important for you to learn. You're learning. Sometimes if the clients have just poured in, maybe you are not ready. So that process helps you to learn, but you need to be patient and put client number one and make sure that you retain every client you get.
Well, as we are winding up this discussion, I kindly request that you re-summarize the customer retention strategies that we discussed earlier for someone who might have joined in late, or someone who needed to check out on their check out with what they are writing down.
Thank you. I'll run through them like you requested. Yes. Number one, it's important to make the customer experience a good one. Every time you meet a customer, treat them at your utmost best. And then make sure you can create royalty programs if you can. Back in the day, our brothers from India used to give safety pins, and that safety pin will make people come back. And so if you have they create royalty. Then also appreciate and respect customers. Display gratitude. Be thankful. Smile. Smile costs nothing. They say even it is healthy to smile. It's good for our health. Then also make sure you get feedback, and you give feedback to clients. Get feedback. When you come from a client, make sure you're sure whether the client is satisfied, has gotten the service they expected. Then also make sure that you build employee loyalty. You must retain staff. If the staff keep changing, then you have learners all the time. It really affects your business. Then also integrity is very, very, very key. Integrity, it's wide, but make sure when you keep time, make sure you keep promises. Everything you promise, you deliver on that. If anything does not go well, please remember to apologize. And make sure to empower your staff. Equip them with the skills they need, the knowledge they need. It will make their work easier, and which will again come back to your business. Then make sure you're empathetic. Show empathy to your clients. Listen to them. Take their point of view. Try to put yourself in their shoes, like we usually say. Then make sure your prices are fair and competitive. And then always be ready to correct mistakes. We are human. To err is human. So every time you err, make sure you're ready to correct it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Mark Rutaremwa, who is the Director of Power Logistics and Cleaners. It has been a pleasure having you tuned in Flourishing Hub this evening. Thank you so much. And just in case you have any inquiries about a Flourishing Hub, there is that topic you want us to discuss here, just check out on the Twitter of Young and Flourishing. So Young and Flourishing, you can always engage with the admins, and that information will reach us here. But also this program will be on YouTube or Church of Uganda Family TV, COU Family TV, and all the other subsequent programs that we've had of Flourishing Hub are on the YouTube channel of COU Family TV. Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name. Next is evening prayer. But remember, there is Good Morning Family tomorrow at 7 a.m. up to 10 a.m. You don't need to miss it out. Good night and God bless you.